awards to include the best animation of the year. And Carlos was also on Frank and Lola, a 2016 movie, and the Transformers movie in 2017. Welcome to the show, Carlos.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here the after Oscar day. It's been such a joy being part of something so special.
Were you at the edge of your seat the whole night? I know I was.
I think all Latinos were. I think all Latinos were at the edge of the seat. Yes, I was at the edge of the seat. I had two friends of mine, actually three friends of mine that came, and we were at a viewing party close to the Oscars, and we screamed and clapped and laughed and cried and hugged each other, and it was like everything that Coco is. So there's a lot of heart and a lot of love and just, you know, celebration of our culture and of us.
Tell me what the crying was like when you were talking to your friends.
Well, the crying is because, you know, the movie, you work so much, and then you remember the people that are no longer with you, that have passed away, like your grandparents and your aunts and your uncles and your cousins, and you know, they're still part of you, and so those tears come out. Even my teachers that have passed away, and all of that, putting it into something, you know, that's quite special. It just brings tears of joy and happiness and love, and it's incredible. I mean, I'm still, you know, when it hit me when I was taking a shower this morning, and I got a chance to hold the Oscar because I can't keep it. That belongs to the producers and the director. So I got a chance to hold it in my hand, and it was heavy. And I was in the shower lathering my hair, and I said, "Oh my God, I touched the Oscar! I held it in my hand ever since I was a kid. You serious? I held an Oscar in my hand. It's great! Oh my God!" I was by myself screaming in the shower. That's when it hit me.
Aww. Tell us your role. My audience doesn't know which voice acting that you did. Tell us where it's at in the movie and everything.
There are so many cast members in this movie. You have the leads, which is everyone that, like the family leads, and then you had all the other characters that either have one-liners, they have a live. So I did 4 that I heard myself. The first one is Corn Man. The Corn Man is when the bell falls down on, well, I shouldn't be saying this, but there is Corn Man. There is the stage manager, and 2 other ones. One, the very first guy that is crossing over to the land of the living. So it's a lot of 2-liners, 1-liner here, a lot of laughing, a lot through the whole entire movie, but those are the 4 recognizable ones, especially the Corn Man is the one that people most remember. And he says, "What I miss."
Oh yeah, I remember that. And the stage manager, correct?
Yeah, the stage manager, you know, when the kid is trying to use the guitar, and he's looking for the chachalacos. I don't know if you remember, it's a big band with a banda, and he's like, "Chachalacos, you're up next!" So it's a little kid stage manager. I thought it actually kind of looks more like me than the other one.
Yeah. My director was asking me a question.
Yes.
And okay, so other than, I mean, what are your aspirations as an actor? I mean, Coco is huge. And by the way, you're my very first guest on the show, and thank you again for coming on the show, but you're my very first guest with regard to an Oscar-winning movie, especially Coco, where it talks about our cultura. And I watched that movie. It was, you know, it was just for coming so heartwarming.
Yes. You know, right now, one of the things I keep on saying in the interviews as I was doing the rounds last night and the last few days that was leading up to the Oscars, is the movie has 4 things that I remember and I heard, and I think even the producer mentioned this, is Coco is about family, it's about love, it's about forgiveness, and it's about dreams. And we all have that. We all have family, we all have dreams that we aspire. Like you were asking me about what do I want to do as an actor? These are the types of films that Latinos have, that we have, and finally it looks like they're paying attention to us, because we have so many untold stories that need to be told. And for the first time, we Latinos were looked in a different limelight. We have compassion, and when grandmas are funny. Aren't grandmas funny? You know? Mm-hmm. And Coco looks like pretty much every grandma, so of course you're going to relate to that. And other cultures, the music, the simple, beautiful, wonderful song "Remember Me" is just so on it. So it just, the whole production just did it quite beautifully from the very beginning to the very end, to the actors that they selected, to the casting directors. It was Carla Hull, to it was all done just with well intention, and to make Latinos, especially the Mexicans, because it just takes place in Mexico, to give us a story that people could resonate around the world. And they just wanted to create a really good story that represents us, and that's all. And then everybody just, you know, hopefully we'll be able to have more mariachis here and more enchiladas and more, you know, more of our culture. But that song just like it just struck a chord with every single one of us. I mean, I cried. I don't know about you.
Well, I got really emotional. I don't want to admit to crying ever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I did.
I cry every time I hear that song. I go like, oh, here we go.
Oh my God. I did get emotional last night when I was watching the Oscars, when the stage was being set up with the neon skulls, the Coco images, and you know, you saw the women with the very colorful, festive dresses, and then I get emotional when I see mariachis, and they're just there dancing, and our culture is there on an Oscar night.
And pride and dignity and honor of who we are as a people. All Latinos. So it's like I said, even okay. So you know how in the film they have these flowers, right?
Yep.
The little flowers that you have to cross. So they're called blessings. And even that, at the very end, all these little like heart-shaped flower leaves are falling down. And it was just like, it's just perfect. I don't know how you could do better than that. So I hope there's a sequel, you know. I hope we want to see him a little bit more, but it's a good time for Latinos. Of course, In the Shape of Water, you know, with Guillermo, Mr. Del Toro, you know, he's also a phenomenal director, and look what he did, and look at the story that he did. His creativity is amazing, and so there's so much talent in this, with us, with all the Latino people, that we do have projects, and we will be heard. And you know, I'm working on my own projects.
Which ones?
I'm working on a show called Pepito's America that I'm producing. Have you ever heard of Pepito jokes? What if Pepito was a man? And it's a comedy with Grandma, and Grandma is the same as Pepito's, because I've always wanted to unite Latinos under one umbrella, because and who else would unite all Latinos from Puerto Rico, Salvador, Chile? They all know Pepito jokes or Juanito jokes. It's the same kid. So I said, what about if I unite all of that and just have this one man? And it's a funny show. Hopefully, it will get picked up, and you know, I can share it with the rest of America. And it's called Pepito's America. So hopefully, you'll get to see more of us having some fun.
Well, tell me one Pepito joke.
No, I can't do it over the phone.
Is it rated R?
I can't do it. Yeah, a little bit. I can't do that. I got to find cleaner ones. But yeah, we'll leave that one until the show comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, the show's going to be really edgy, so we can see ourselves edgy, but a lot of humor as well.
Well, I'm going to be looking forward to that. I love George Lopez and everything in his comedy, but I'm beginning to hear the same. So, you know, I like to hear new Chicano Latino
edgy.
Type of spins.
Edgy,
yeah.
A little edgy. And so I'm hoping that I can we're doing a pilot presentation in April. Hopefully we'll see. We'll, wish us luck. And then I'm directing. I'm also a director, so I direct my own stuff. Since I want to help as many Latinos, there's a lot of new talent out there. So I want to create content that revolves around that. And my first full feature, hopefully I'll be directing by the end of the year. It's called No Way Jose, and it's a dramedy, and it's about how to break racism and bigotry through humanity, through compassion, through food, and so you break down bigotry because they finally see themselves in you. It's hopefully we'll have a green lit, but those are two big projects of mine that I'm working on now.
Okay, so now let's get a little bit political. I met you.
Oh, yeah.
I met you Saturday at the protest. I want to know why you were the loudest one there, the most passionate one there. You were the most passionate, man. Yeah. I was like, who's that guy? I didn't even know you were an actor.
Oh.
Tell us why.
Wow, I didn't know that. It was just being me.
You were the loudest and the most passionate one there, and I thought, wonder who he is. And I didn't know that you were one of the voice actors for Coco. So again, congratulations on that. But tell us why you're there. What drives you to, be at protests like you were yesterday? And by the way, that was my very first entertainment protest. Usually I'm a protester just politically here in the state of Arizona, Texas, and California during presidential campaigns, but this Saturday was my very first entertainment protest. Explain to my audience what drives you to support those types of protests.
Well, thank you again for coming and supporting us. We all have to stick together. When we're many, we become stronger. So I was there because I've been an actor for so many years, and I've never been given an opportunity. The very little ones are like I know the same things. The gardener and the mechanic, and we're also doctors and we're lawyers and we're politicians, and so I'm sick of it. And we don't have a lot of people that, or at least Hollywood, we're very represented. The statistics are insane. We consume like 24% of the ticket sales, and yet we're only being shown 3.1% for characters. And some of these are like one-liners, like most of what I do. And so I'm sick of it. And I've been there's certain Latinos that are very powerful, that have made it, that they need to reach down to us. Somehow they have to be a little bit more supportive for those young ones that are coming. I consider myself young, but I'm not, because I'm a little veteran. I've seen I work with a lot of people, but there's a lot of young adults and kids that want to have that. So I'm morenito, I'm really dark skinned, and I can't see myself in any of these things. So for me to hold an Oscar morenito Latino, I hope kids can see that picture, and they can say, even though I don't have it in my mantle, but they can say, you know what? I can do that. This guy has been doing it for 30 years now, almost, and he's doing it out there, and he's plugging it away, and I want more opportunities. So I'm out there protesting because we demand action. We have our stories to tell, and it's all about money eventually. And if somebody would just, believe in this project, I can bring some people together. I've directed 10 shorts and I think 8 or 9 of them have gone to festivals at this point. So I've done this. I've proven myself as a really good director, and you know, my films, they go from $50 and little tacos and burritos, and they still go to festivals, to like a $15,000 short film, and they all, you know, they go to festivals. So I'm doing my best that I can, and that's why I was very strong vocally, I guess, but I was just me saying, I've had it. I'm done. Please hear us out. Hear our voices. We need to be heard. You like Coco? Guess what? We have about, I don't know how many thousands of more of that, but you've not given us a platform.
Do you think with all of the awards that Mexicanos and Latinos, Chicanos were a part of yesterday, do you see the tables turning? I kind of feel it.
Coco's about to make $1 billion worldwide.
How much?
$1 billion. I think it's at 800,000 right now, or
wow,
almost 800,000 worldwide. So you can imagine, we reach 1 billion. Guess what? Alex McAllen, by the way, you guys need, for those that are listening, you should check out the National Hispanic Media Coalition. That's National NHMC, National Hispanic Media Coalition.org or .com. They're the ones that are advocating for Latinos. They're always pushing us up there. But Coco's about to make them $1 billion, and all of a sudden we have power. And Latinos want to watch great shows. They all don't have to be Latinos, but we need, you know, a seat at the table, like we were chanting. So ya basta. It's time to grow up, Hollywood. Stop being, you know, in a bubble, because there's other lives. There's Asian lives. There's people from the Middle East. There's all of us, and there's room for everybody on that table. So maybe this is the beginning of a new thing, like I said, and I feel more optimistic because of Coco and because of course, Mr. Del Toro, who I hope I can work with someday because he's just phenomenal. I did work with Michael Shannon, who worked on the with them on this last project. But yes, so tables are turning finally.
Now, do you remember when we went to the protest, you know, the Oscars protest, and we went to the very end of the line? They had securities. Do you remember how scared they looked? And they were just looking at us like, what the heck are you guys doing? Do you remember their faces?
Yeah, they just didn't understand, a lot of them. There were a couple that came, and they said, one of them said to me, this is all going to change, don't worry. And I don't know who he was, but he was on the other side of the fence, or the other side of that came, and he approached me. He says, this is all going to change, just watch. So maybe he knows something that we don't know, but we cannot rest. When we rest, and we have to continue the movement. We got to support all of our Latino actors, because we're actually doing it for the next group that's coming up. Once we open those doors, then there's room for everybody. We're just trying to survive. We're trying to get better roles, and we're trying to stop doing the same roles that they always give us. You know, stereotype is not, all of us are not like that. But I do like the chancla. I do like the chancla. That's a good stereotype, right?
Yep.
It's awesome.
Hey, I have nightmares from my mom's chancla still.
Yeah, yo tengo la marca todavía aquí en la espinazo. Huerco, ven pa' que tengo un chanclazo ahorita.
Is there anything that you want to tell my audience? I know that you were on American Crime. I've had actors on American Crime, and I didn't even know you were on there. I was stalking your Facebook and looking at all of the photos, so I saw that you were on there too. But how can my audience reach you and become fans of yours, and tell us?
Yes, you know, my teacher taught me this. I also teach, by the way. I teach acting classes. I give it out of my heart. But I had a wonderful teacher. His name was Milton Katselas. He made a lot of stars, and he gave me something quite special. So I can be reached at my Facebook, which is Carlos Moreno Jr. On Twitter is the same, Carlos Moreno Jr. And Twitter, the other one is the same. What is it? Instagram, Carlos Moreno Jr. But my teacher said that a star or someone that you know, a star or someone important is not born. It is supported by your family and your friends, your fans, and it's the fans and it's the family and your friends that make a star. So a star is never born. So of course I would love to open up. Whoever wants to be my friend, I'm very great at advice. I try to contact as many as possible because I think it's important that I learned a lot from this guy, and I'm trying to get to as many people that I can because it's such a wonderful gift. So the more fans, the better, and we help each other out. So those are the three places. Because I don't think there's anything else. I don't do Snapchat. I don't even know how to work that. I'm a little afraid of that. Some people said that it changed.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Snapchat too.
Yeah. So, but those three, it's just my name, Carlos Moreno Jr.
Okay, I want to again thank you for coming to the Tequila Onda show with me. It was nice protesting alongside with you at the.
Thank you. Can I just say one last little?
Absolutely, you can.
Let's all remember those that we've lost. Because of them, we're here, and we take them with us in our hearts, and wherever we do, they created us. Remember them, because one day we will be those. So tell your parents and your kids and everybody else how much you love them.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for your humble dialogue. And again, I just want to invite my audience to visit Carlos Moreno Jr. Friend him on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. He's a veterano in the acting business. And he's also my first guest who participated in winning an Oscar, last night's Oscars. Yay. So I'm so stoked about that. And he just did una grito, Osvaldo. Yes. Dale un grito también, Osvaldo. Él no quiere, okay.
Él no quiere, le falta tequila, por eso.
Okay, after the show. But one of the things I want my audience to understand about Carlos, he was one of the most passionate, outspoken people at the protest on March 3rd in Hollywood, where nhmc.org, if you visit the National Hispanic Media Coalition at nhmc.org, you'll understand the importance of that. Thank you again, Carlos. We're going to go on a 1-minute break for the Ruby Cloud Show. We're going to be speaking with our musician guests next. Thank you for listening.
Un abrazo, un abrazo.
Un abrazo.
Thank you, hermano. En Quantum Emotional Crossover creemos que tú puedes tener una vida ilimitada, un nuevo horizonte, una nueva manera de vivir en gozo y abundancia. ¿Qué requieres transformar para poder experimentar y expresar todo quien tú eres? ¿Cómo puedes participar como protagonista activo en el nuevo modelo del mundo que se está gestando? Si estás comprometido a transformar tu vida de una vez por todas y para siempre, si quieres conectarte y convertirte en el ser humano que nunca antes has sido, toma la oportunidad de participar en un seminario que cambiará tu vida para siempre. Llama ya 602-349-1083 y dirige tu vida hacia un mundo ilimitado de posibilidades. 602-349-1083. En Quantum Emotional Crossover estamos comprometidos con la calidad, no con la cantidad. Reserva tu cupo. Quantum Emotional Crossover, el poder de la transformación personal al alcance de tu mano.
Hola, estamos ayudando a muchas personas. Somos All in All Documents, una oficina multiservicios. Nuestros principales servicios son taxes, notario móvil, administración y registro de tu negocio. Además, oficiamos tu boda civil. Siempre lo más importante son nuestros clientes. Deja tus preocupaciones en nuestras manos, nosotras te ayudamos.
Let me try it again. 818 what?
Okay, we're back to the Tequila Onda show. I'm DeeDee Garcia Blase, your host. And with me today is Claudia of Ruby Clouds. Welcome to the show, Claudia.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I tried to get your brother on the line, but I was getting a busy tone. Should I try again in about 10 minutes on a 10-minute break?
You know, I think I gave you the wrong number, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
I just sent it to your messenger right now. But he's right here. We can both take turns answering questions.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so let me do a quick introduction. I listened to your music today, and you have a beautiful voice. And
thank you so much.
Your brother, David Garcia, by the way, I have Ruby and David Garcia on the line. And they are a bilingual R&B rock duo. Their original music in English and Spanish partly reflects their experience growing up on both sides of the border, but it also invites the listener to dream along. Recent performances include the House of Blues in Anaheim and Late Nights in East Los. Their debut EP will be released on May 18th of this year. Ruby Clouds have supported a number of important causes with their music. They have performed at fundraiser concerts for the Women's Museum of California, Sisters of South LA, Girls Rock Camp Orange County, A New Way of Life, Re-Entry Project, The Beat Within, and Border Angels at their binational concert in Tijuana. And I believe that is how I discovered you, to be quite honest with you, Claudia, because I was there with at one of the Border Angels functions. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Very excited to be here. I've seen a couple of episodes of your show, and I love the way you're promoting the culture and our people's agenda. So I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome. I primarily focus on gente, but I do, expand with other minority groups. In fact, next week we're going to have Frank Toro, formerly with Tommy Boy Records, next Monday night. So, awesome. In your bio on your website, rubycloudsmusic.com, you talk about that your music reflects your experience growing up on both sides of the border. Can you expound on that?
Sure. We used to live in Tijuana, my whole family, my mom and five kids, and we used to cross the border every single day to go to school in San Isidro. And so we did grow up on both sides of the border, and our Spanish is our first language, but we learned English in school, and so we have a very bilingual and bicultural existence, and that's something that we really wanted to express in the music, because we feel a little bit underrepresented in terms of bicultural and border region people.
David, do you want to chime in?
Oh, well, definitely I feel that we have a unique experience that isn't properly portrayed sometimes in the more popular and common media like television and movies and even music to some extent. I feel that we're able to bring a certain type of authenticity that perhaps has been lacking or perhaps just hasn't truly been explored in terms of, again, that bicultural well, you know, we're brother and sister, so bicultural family has a certain experience that others don't. But again, even growing up down there in San Isidro, like we coming up here to LA, and it's the same experience. Like it's literally like we're the same people. It's so fascinating to see how we managed to meld both worlds into one, and that new world, that's what we're trying to represent. That's what we're trying to embody, and hopefully shed some light on you know, the reality of being a bicultural person, specifically in these hectic times.
Now, I was listening to the guitar in the phenomenal song that I watched your music on your YouTube channel, and that guitar is just awesome. It's almost has like this smooth, bluesy feel to it. How long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing since I was 10 years old. When Claudia came home from college, she brought her guitar, and she taught me a few chords. She was my first guitar teacher, and from then on, she let me her guitar. Like, I guess I made her feel bad. I was like, please. And yeah, I've been playing self-taught ever since then. Definitely the blues is a huge influence on me. One of my favorite, if not my favorite guitar players is Jimi Hendrix. And I was specifically trying to go for a Hendrixy vibe for this song because I feel like he was one of our more enlightened musicians back in the day. And thank you so much. I'm so happy you like it. That's high praise. I feel you made my day.
Absolutely. I just bought the Jimi Hendrix replica Fender guitar, and I'm jealous. Yeah, no, I'm learning how to play guitar on that guitar. So when you said Jimi Hendrix, you totally rock there. How long has Claudia been singing? Because I mean, she had this chorus, this repeat chorus on the phenomenal song, and oh my God, I mean, she gave me goosebumps. How long have you been singing?
Thank you so much. I've actually been singing my whole life. I've known since I could talk that I wanted to sing. And there's even a picture of me as a baby, like supposedly singing. That's what my mom says. But I've always wanted to, you know, sing anything. And so starting from when I was in preschool or kindergarten, I just, you know, learned all the songs and I sang them to my mom. And from then on, she started telling me, oh, you should sing mariachi. And so she taught me songs when I was little, and mariachi kind of entered my life from then on, and then it came back to me in high school. I joined a mariachi band because that whole movement was starting in San Diego, and so that was really wonderful because I got to become a better singer, a better musician, and I got to learn about my culture, and we performed all over San Diego, and so seeing the impact of our performances really motivated me to keep going and also to push this music forward to like the beauty and the elegance of mariachi music. I just felt like everybody should know about it because it's very inclusive and welcoming, and it's also very exciting to experience.
Well, that's interesting that you brought up the mariachi, your love for mariachi music. It's definitely my love as well. In fact, I created a movie script I hope to complete this year called Mariachi Me, and it touches on when you were a little girl and just being enamored with mariachi music. And I kind of put like a hashtag #MeToo spin to it. So maybe one of these days when I go visit LA again, I'll have to take you out for coffee or lunch and talk about this.
Definitely. I recently saw a bilingual musical about mariachi called Mariachi Girl. And it was incredible. It was completely bilingual. It had original songs as well as classic songs. I just loved it. And I think this is the time for these musicals to be coming out, just like yours. I'm very excited to.
Absolutely.
To read the script. I would love to read it.
Did you guys watch the Oscars last night?
No, we didn't. We were at, we had a performance at a radio station last night, so we missed it. But when we came home, we saw the clips of, you know, the different winners, and that was exciting to see that Coco had won the best animated feature, and that's really wonderful, a really big step for us as a culture. I
really liked what Guillermo del Toro said too about kicking down that door. I don't know if you saw that clip.
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I have to look that up. That sounds exactly like what it did.
Tell me what you did for Border Angels. I know you've done a lot for the cause in several causes, especially with regard to women's causes. Tell me a little bit about the Border Angels project you worked on?
Well, Border Angels, just having heard of them a few years ago, I knew that I wanted to be involved somehow. And we contacted the director, Enrique Morones, who was an amazing human being. He's the one putting his face on, out there and speaking on behalf of all of these people that do not have a voice. And I connected with him very significantly, and he invited us to perform. For example, they have a Mother's Day celebration at Friendship Park, which is where the two countries meet, and they have a Mother's Day celebration for mothers that have been deported. And so it's a very intense event. But we were there. We were playing mariachi songs. We were playing our songs, and there were mariachis on the other side of the border, the Tijuana side, and I, sang some songs with them. And so it's just the type of events that just really show the kind of love and the kind of unity that exists despite the wall, and just a hopefulness for the future, how it could be if certain things were different. But also, the music of mariachi and what I try to do with my music as well is, to inspire and to put ourselves mentally in a more beautiful place, so that we can move forward and not be, blocked by all of the, possibly overwhelming circumstances that we're dealing with. But that was one performance. Another one that we did was their annual dinner that they have in November. We were able to perform a set of mariachi songs acoustically, just the two of us, and then later on we did our set, which is our Ruby Cloud set, and it's electronic with tracks and electric guitar and vocal effects. So I really love them because they appreciate all the different aspects of our band, and they've always invited us to their events. And they also invited us to play at this binational concert last July, which was amazing. It was in Tijuana, and they had bands from Los Angeles and San Diego and Tijuana. And it was really great. So we love the fact that we can perhaps bring a little bit more attention to what they're doing. One example of that is when we performed for a Bernie Sanders rally here in Los Angeles, and we met Erica Ambiola, who's from Arizona. She's an activist, and we told her about having played at Friendship Park, and what that means and the significance of that space. And it was really cool to see that, a week or two later, Bernie Sanders actually made a visit to Friendship Park. And I'm not saying it was because of us, but it's just such a powerful space to be in. Like, this is actually the difference that it makes, that wall, and what it means to families. And what's really beautiful about Border Angels is that they've been able to coordinate gate visits so that families can reunite, or maybe even meet for the first time. So I just love everything they do. It's all humanitarian based. It's not politics necessarily. It's just humanitarian efforts. And so as much as we can do to support them, we do.
Now, David, Mr. Jimi Hendrix, blues brother.
Yeah, the blues. We're on a mission from God.
Right, or blues hermano. But what was it like playing at the House of Blues in Anaheim?
Well, it was really interesting because it was like the VIP lounge, so it was kind of like really fancy. Not kind of, it was really fancy. Everybody was dressed super nice who worked there. They're like going to like a ball or something. It was like really, really, really cool. What was really nice is that we got really good vibes. Like, I was actually a bit tepid about playing mariachi songs, so I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna react to this, and they like it. Like, glad I really managed to bring out the inner Mexican in everybody. She's like, oh, if you want, haz un grito. And then, sometimes people hear the popcorn saying, ha ha, But it's really cool. Like, we played there once, and they just kept having us back. We're looking at each other again. Okay, like, we'll keep going back as long as they want us there. And it's always a great time. Like, again, the whole staff is great. The stage itself, the building itself, it's all really, really nice. And like, I remember specifically having the moment. We played there consecutively, like every month for 8 months. And about halfway through, I was like, wait, I think we're good. We must be doing something right because they keep having us back. We're always greeted with big smiles. One time we were like with the door guy, and he's like, who are you guys? Ruby Cloud's like, oh, hey, somebody was talking about you up there. I was like, oh, you get all red and start blushing. But it was really cool, and it was very vindicating, definitely, to know that we're on the right track for sure.
Now, back to Claudia. Thank you for that, David. Claudia, I'm trying to liken your voice to an artist, and who are your influences?
Well, my early influences are Gloria Trevi and Janet Jackson. Those are very early. And then, I started really admiring mariachi singers like Lola Beltran and Linda Ronstadt. And then later on, I was really influenced by jazz singers like Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday, and also rockeras like Andrea Echeverri from Terciopelados. I really loved her songwriting and her lyrics because they were so beyond anything I had really heard from a woman in terms of lyrics. And so that really, really inspired me to go above and beyond with my lyrics.
Have you heard of Janis Joplin?
Oh, yes. I love her. Love her. She's such a, yeah.
I feel like I get a little bit of hint coming from you to that regard.
That's such a huge compliment.
And I mean, your voice, your vocals, like a couple of notches above hers, but I don't know. I don't know if it was the blues guitar that your brother was playing that made me feel that way, but there were moments where I just had hints of Janis Joplin coming from you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely have a super rockera side, and Janis is such a unique performer in the whole landscape. She stands out because all of the rockers after her were trying to actually emulate her. So it's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. She was true blues, so I really appreciate that.
Do you know a musician out of LA? His name's Pete Alva, and he's looking for a female musician singer to record on a couple of like biker songs, and I'm gonna send him. I'm going to send him your information because I really liked what I heard. Can you tell my audience, is there anything that you guys want to tell my audience about you guys and where to find you?
Yes. If you are interested in hearing our music or watching our videos, you can visit rubycloudsmusic.com. And in that website, we have all of our different social media sites like YouTube and SoundCloud available. Our very first single, called Fenomenal, is going to be released this Thursday, March 8th, in honor of International Women's Day. It's a song inspired by a poem about women, Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. And so I wanted to really emphasize the fact that this is a song inspired by and dedicated to women.
David, is there anything you'd like to add?
Just that I really love this music, and I'm so happy to be able to be a part of this number. When we were doing our separate bands like 5-6 years ago, my mom was like, "Hey, someday you guys should play together," and we're like, "No, Mom, what are you talking about?" So it's come full circle, and now we're like, "Sorry, Mom, you're always right."
Right.
Yeah, we have the single coming out this Thursday, and then we have the album, which is going to be on May 18th. And yeah, we're just really excited. We're going to try and do a music video for every song, and we're working with incredibly talented artists. They're all of them female so far, and they're all amazing. And at least check out the artwork and stay for the song. Go for the artwork and stay for the song.
There you go.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show, and
thank you.
To my audience, I just want to let you know that Ruby Clouds has done so much for so many causes, to include women's causes. And don't forget, on March 8th, it is in celebration of International Women's Day. Claudia of Ruby Clouds and David Garcia will be releasing their song, Phenomenal. And you could find them on YouTube. Let me see here. What's the channel name? Ruby Clouds. If you go to the Ruby Clouds YouTube channel, you can, before their official release, go and check their music out. It's phenomenal. So again, friend them on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Claudia and David Garcia.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. ¿Ya? Ay, ay, ay. ¿Por qué estás haciendo Where are you going?